In this section, we are going to learn about the bones of the axial and appendicular skeleton, classification of the major joints of the body and the structure of the long bones. I'm not going to lie, there is a lot of bone names to remember here, so I'd recommend having an image of a skeleton ready next to you as we go through this. You should find a helpfully labelled one in the course materials. So, our skeleton is made up of 206 bones, and when discussing the skeleton, we usually break it into two main sections. The axial, which has 80 bones, and the appendicular, which has 126 bones. Starting with the axial, this is the core of the body and includes the cranium, aka the skull, the mandible, aka the jaw, the vertebral column, and our ribs. The appendicular skeleton, the humerus, which is the upper arm, the ulna and the radius, which is the lower arm, the ilium, which is the upper hip and pelvis, the pubis, which is the very bottom of the pelvis, the femur, which is in the upper leg, the tibia or fibula, which is our lower leg, our tarsals, which is the top of our foot, the metatarsals, which is the middle of the foot, and the calcaneus, which is our heel bone. Those are just the key bones, but it's a lot to remember, so go over it a few times until they start to sink into your memory. Don't worry if it takes you a while. Now, bones are classified by their shape and not their size into the following 5 categories: flat bones, long bones, short bones, irregular bones, and sesamoid bones. Let's look at examples in the body for each of the 5 categories. Firstly, flat bones. These bones are flat in appearance and provide protection for the vital organs such as the brain or the heart. They have a large surface area for muscle attachments. Examples would include the skull, the ribs, the sternum, and the scapula. Can you remember the location of these 4 bones? If not, go back and check on the diagram. Then we have the long bones. These bones are longer than they are wide and act as levers to create movement. They provide blood cells and store minerals. We will explore long bones in greater detail later in this video. Example of long bones would include the humerus, the femur, the tibia, and the fibula. 3 of those bones are in the legs, but which one is in the arm? Yes, it's the humerus. Well done if you got that one right. Next we have short bones. These bones are cuboid in shape, being as wide as they are long. They usually occur in groups and give us fine movements. Examples will be our carpals or our tarsals. An easy way to remember this is T for toes, so your tarsals are in your toes. We also have irregular bones. These bones have no set shape and are determined by the role within the body, for example, your vertebra. Finally, we have the sesamoid bones. These are small bones which develop within tendons to help protect the tendon along the ligaments. A common example would be your patella, aka your kneecap. We have already briefly discussed the long bone, so you are now familiar with where they are located within the body and their purpose. We're now going to delve a bit deeper into the components of a long bone. When looking more closely at the makeup of a long bone, there are some common terms it will be useful for you to remember. Articular cartilage, known as the hyaline, this covers the end of the bone, also known as the epiphysis. It helps to reduce friction and absorb shock around joints where 2 or more bones meet. Epiphysis. This is rounded and located at either end of the bone and is made up of spongy bone. Epiphyseal growth plate. This is the section in which new bone is created from the cartilage. Diaphysis. This is the main shaft of the bone and is made up of compact cortical bone. Medullary cavity. This is the hollow center within the diaphysis and contains yellow and red marrow for storing fat and producing blood cells. Periosteum. This is the fibrous sheath that covers the outside of the bone, promoting blood supply and attachment through ligaments and tendons. Guys, I know these terms are complex and will be difficult to remember. And if I'm honest, this isn't knowledge you will use day to day on the gym floor. However, this fundamental understanding of our body and how the skeleton is structured gives you the foundations to build upon and will come in handy in your future career.